Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
There we go. Thank you. I apologize. My wife just came in here and yelled outside the door, "There's no sound." I actually, which is kind of funny because I actually just looked at the mixer before I went live and I thought I saw the red lights. So I apologize for everybody out there. We got it sorted now, so I'm going to start over. Okay, here we go. This is Billy, the big-eyed bunny, and he is over 6 pounds of chocolate loving. As you can see, he is absolutely huge. He comes from Evolution Artisan Confections in Valpo. If you have not been there, you absolutely should go. Not because I get anything. Tell them Dion sent you. I don't get anything for it. I just think it would be awesome. Plus, they deserve it. They're a small business, a local business, and it's absolutely an amazing value. Look them up on Google. Their reviews are top notch. They're incredible. Absolutely worth it. She loves the bunny. So the story that I started off with, she was looking at Facebook. She saw this rabbit, this bunny, and it was a post from Evolution that showed him, and it's got that look. Like, I don't know if you can see the arms of this thing, but they're kind of puffed out. This is the arms right here. He's got that stance, like, better do it, right? And the big eyes, like, looking at you. We said we should maybe put him in the wife's office up on her desk, and then put a little note that says, "Do your work." Maybe put it in Donovan's room with a note that says, "Do your homework," something like that. It's got that look, right? That look that you don't want to mess with. So Billy, the big-eyed bunny, Dave, the demented, I don't know a D word that means bunny, but yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's Evolution. I'm going to tell you about this place. I actually, the first time I'd ever heard of Evolution, I was at an event at another candidate's house, and they had the most incredible desserts laid out. And I'm like, oh my God, where did you get those? So they tell me it was actually the wife of the candidate. If you're watching this, you know who you are. If you don't mind me telling, I'll tell. But other than that, and I'm like, where did you get that? And she says, Evolution. Have you ever been there? And I'm like, no, I'm not familiar with the place. She's like, you have to go. Let me say this. From the moment I walked in, look them up on Google, Evolution Artisan Confections. Their reviews are incredible for a reason. It's all handcrafted, top of the line ingredients. It's absolutely incredible that we have a place like this in Valparaiso, because this is the type of shop that you would expect to see in major cities. Like, absolutely. And the prices are incredibly reasonable for the time and effort that goes into it, for what you get with it. Absolutely amazing. So I'm done gushing about that. It's a huge freaking rabbit. He has to wait till Easter, though. Liz is very, very particular about Easter holidays, and he cannot be assaulted until Easter. Easter, though, all bets are off. It's on like Donkey Kong, and this rabbit is going down. I'm telling you. Until then, he's going to occupy a place of honor in the household. Perhaps, maybe we might read him a bedtime story. I'm not sure. But I'm going to say this. We went, right, and we go there, and let me tell you, okay, I'm not done gushing. This place, every time we go in there, we're recognized, we're welcomed, but it's just a very, very friendly place to go. And I'm talking about Evolution. But when we got this bunny, right, and we bring him out to the truck, we first of all, my loving wife insisted that he be buckled in with the care that he so aptly deserves. Yeah. So this is an interesting thing. One of the things she was concerned about is, will he still be good come Easter, right? Turns out he has a 1-year shelf life. He's still good for a whole year. He's not going to last that long. Of that I can absolutely promise. But it's like top of the line, completely sourced. Like you can see where it comes from. French chocolate. It's like bougie stuff, right? But they don't feel like bougie. It's not like you go in there and you're like, oh, you're not a rich person. Ew, that kind of place. It's not like that. It's very friendly, very down to earth. But the quality is like that. It's just amazing. Do yourself a favor, check them out, and let them know Dion sent you. Tell them I am more than willing to discuss a partnership deal. Just kidding. Go there. You will thank me. If you have not been there, do it. Do it. Switching gears for a moment. So those of you who may only be used to seeing me on Facebook because of the Twitter ban, I've had a specific Twitter set up for my channel for a while now. I just never could get the broadcast to work. Well, last night I was finally able to get it synced up. So the top line actually at Dion's Daily Dose, that's the Twitter handle. So if you'd rather watch on Twitter, you can do that. Yeah. Liz would like to point out that they have stuff for $1. You can spend $5 and get 5 awesome candies. They have little chocolates with alcohol. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff. Whatever you like, as far as like chocolate to candies to immaculate desserts. I got a couple that I picked up today in addition to this crazy thing, but it is absolutely worth the time and effort to go there. There's an issue with LinkedIn still. I thought it was fixed, but I'm working on it, right? I've made a lot more progress with the LinkedIn streaming than I have in the past. So we're almost there. I was going to, and I have a Band-Aid on my finger because my window in my front room hates me. I was actually putting a screen in the window because the one that's there is torn out and I haven't gotten around to replacing it normally. So we got one of the adjustable screens, right? I'm putting it in the window. I just about got it lined up and the window just slams down on my finger. And it you know how you can have a cut or a rip? Well, it ripped top and bottom. It hurt so bad. I'm fine now. I just keep the Band-Aid on it so I don't bleed all over my stuff. It's fine. Seriously, just in case anybody asks. So I don't get any inboxes like, why do you have a Band-Aid? Because people asked all kinds of stuff. But I think I'm this close. I think I'm this close with LinkedIn. There for a while, I couldn't get it to work at all. I've finally gotten it to where it says, yeah, you're ready to go, but you still need this final step from LinkedIn. So I have communicated with LinkedIn. I have requested what I need to request from them. So we shall see, fingers crossed. Now, that said, if you're watching me on the Dion for Indiana page, you're fine. If you're watching me on Dion's Daily Dose, you're fine. If you're watching me on Dion for Congress, you're fine. You don't have to worry about following another page and moving over or any of that. After I tried to integrate several of the pages and combine them, and Facebook wouldn't let me do it. So I don't know. I hate Facebook, but it is what it is. We deal with what we have. I looked into streaming it directly to my site, and it is possible as a backup, but it costs a significant amount of money, way more than I want to spend. Let's face it, I don't make any money off of this. Nobody's paying me to advertise for them or anything yet. Although if you got a good deal for me, let me know. Maybe I'll pimp some Raid Shadow Legends. Just kidding. If anybody's watched YouTube, you've seen. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm not into all of that. But the cost for doing that is prohibitive, to say the least. It's a lot of money. Maybe I'll start a Patreon or something. You guys can help me support the habit. We're still working out the details on that. That said, apparently there is an issue with my intro. I was looking to do some stuff with the channel last night, and I was looking into it, and it's not copyright strikes per se, but it's basically telling me that I can't monetize with the intro that I have because the music is like semi-copyrighted or something. I had a friend make the intro for me. So just so everyone's aware, very soon I'm going to have a whole new intro. I actually have permission from Tom McDonald, one of my very favorite artists, to use his music. So more than likely I'm going to try to craft. I am not a video editor. If anyone out there has video editing experience, can help me, or is willing to make some money and make me an intro combining some Tom lyrics and song and maybe some, I don't know, something. I got work for you, put it that way. I need a logo. I need all kinds of stuff. So graphic designers out there, video editors, what's the text thing, HMU, hit me up. I don't know. I'm not going to try to be cool anymore. How about that? I got a lot of stuff that I'm trying to do. Trying to get some good interviews on here. I think some good conversations. There are some people that I'm reaching out to, and I'm hoping that I can get them to come on and have a real discussion. People from both parties. I don't want to restrict it to just a single party. That said, speaking of parties and politics, if you have not seen the Biden press conference thing, oh, wow. You should watch it. You should watch it if you can find it, because the videos are seeming to disappear. I had a link for one, and now it's not there. It's gone. There are some excerpts that you can read. There are the transcripts, but I'm telling you, the transcripts do not do it justice. It is just wow. There's definitively something wrong. This is a guy who said he was in the Senate for 120 years, right? 120 years ago, he was in the U.S. Senate. And look, I get because the big brains are trying to spin it as if it's a joke. You know, and I know that if Donald Trump had said that he joined the Senate 120 years ago, the big brains would be all over it. Oh, Dave caught it. Was it not the most disturbing and just upsetting thing you have ever seen? I mean, I legitimately felt bad. I really did. I'm like, the people who are behind this should be ashamed of themselves. They should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. It's mind-blowing. I told you guys about the ship that went sideways in the Suez Canal. Excuse me just a moment. I don't know if you've seen it lately. Oh, thank you, Dave. Yeah, I saw that. Listen to this. This is crazy. If you haven't watched it, it was during a segment where they asked Biden if he was planning on running again for re-election, right? And his response was, it's this insane word salad, but essentially it comes down to, I can't travel. That's in there. Look at the excerpt or watch the video. I can't travel, and I can't plan things 3.5 years in advance. And who knows what's going on? The Republican Party may not even be around then. What? The Republican Party may not be around in 2024? What does that mean? What does that even mean? There's either The man knows something that we all do not, which, hey, anything is possible. Let's face it. Allegedly, Biden won the election, so anything is possible. That said, what? Huh? Anyway, oh my goodness. I can't even sum it up. Like, if I tried to pick it apart piece by piece, Dave said that's the unity he's talking about. Maybe so. Yeah, let's get rid of it. There we go. It's mind blowing. It really is. And I know I keep saying that because it really did. Liz is reading me various pieces of it. She's like, he really said this. He actually said this. There's a little clip that is him talking about the filibuster, and he's just totally, completely lost. It's embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. You know, and I think you're absolutely right, Dave, that maybe that's the unity he's talking about, the one-party autocracy, where it's just one party in charge, and they make all the decisions, and they're, you know, you shall not question dear leader. Which brings up an interesting point. I want to talk just a moment about the phenomenal way that the Democrats talked about Trump being tyrannical, right? About how he was just the epitome of fascism, right? He was consistently compared to the most famous dictator that ever lived, right? Over and over and over, consistently. But yet, everything Trump did was upheld as, you know, in accordance with the Constitution. Did you know that Joe Biden administration is actually attempting to enter homes to seize weapons in violation of the Fourth Amendment? It is going to the Supreme Court. There's actually a case. Let me bring it up real quick. I actually just read it. I could send it to myself, or I could just look it up. Biden Supreme Court search Fourth Amendment. Let's check this. Here it is. 2 days ago. All right. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna share this with you so you can see it. Donald, let's see. Don, you, Christopher, Bilbrey, and I need to have a cup of coffee, a pint, and a bourbon, and discuss starting a liberty-minded Hoosier Talk platform. I would really actually enjoy that. I've been meaning to get in touch with you and have you back on the show anyway. I would actually really, really dig that. Hit me up, seriously. HMU, right? Nah, wrong button. Hold on. There we go. Okay, let me show you this, because if you haven't seen it yet, you really should. It is incredibly disturbing. So the Biden administration urges the Supreme Court to let cops enter homes and seize guns without a warrant. Ladies and gentlemen, without a warrant. The U.S. Supreme Court on Wednesday will hear oral argument in Caniglia v. Strom. If you haven't read about this case, you should. It's extremely, extremely concerning. A case that could have sweeping consequences for policing, due process, and mental health, with the Biden administration and attorneys general from 9 states urging the high court to uphold warrantless gun confiscation. But what would ultimately become a major Fourth Amendment case began with an elderly couple's spat over a coffee mug. That's what it started. That's what started this. Right? Really quick, because it's kind of long. Here's what happened, right? The guy got into an argument with his wife, right? He is 68 years old, joked to her that he didn't want to use a certain coffee mug that his brother-in-law gave him because he, quote, might catch a case of dishonesty, right? In other words, his brother-in-law is not exactly truthful, and I don't want to catch. So that quip quickly spiraled into an hour-long argument, right? So actually, this is an incorrect this is an incorrect quote about what happened. The quote's correct about what he said, but he actually left the home for a while, drove around, calmed down, came back. They got back into it when he came home because she couldn't just let stuff go. I wonder why. No one who has been married is at all surprised about that, right? Men and women, it's not one-sided. This, like, you get into an argument, it's like it seems to last forever. Growing exhausted, he stormed into his bedroom, grabbed an unloaded handgun, put it on the kitchen table in front of his wife. With a flair for the dramatic, he then asked, "Why don't you just shoot me and get me out of my misery?" So they continued to argue. Well, according to this, he took a drive to there's confusion. Different articles say he drove first and then did that. Other articles say he did that, then drove. Anyway, she spent the night in a motel and then called home the next day. No answer. She called the police to do a wellness check. They talked to him. They basically said, "Hey, you really should go get checked out." They convinced him to go to the hospital by promising him that his guns would not be seized while he was gone. As a matter of fact, I'll let you guys read it. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. They swore, right? No, your guns are perfectly safe. We're not going to take anything from you. Go get checked out. Now, while he was gone, the police talked to the wife and lied to her, because the police are allowed to do that, told her the husband said they could take the guns. Now, he never said that. They didn't have a warrant. None of that was the case. They came in, took the weapons. Here's the thing. The guy sued and said warrantless, right? Fourth Amendment. You didn't have a warrant, no threats, nothing. The crux of the case hinges on the following. The defense in this case, which is the state, is essentially saying we should be able to go into people's homes if we believe that there's any danger. Now, what do they qualify as danger? That is the key, ladies and gentlemen, because it isn't who makes the laws. It's who decides how the laws are applied, right? Think about it. What constitutes a danger? What constitutes community policing? Because here's the community caretaking is the actual word. Let me show you exactly right here. When police seized the guns, they didn't claim it was an emergency or to prevent imminent danger. Instead, the officers argued their actions were a form of, quote, community caretaking, a narrow exception to the Fourth Amendment's warrant requirement. Now, here's the key, right? Previously, this exception, this little bitty narrow exception to the Fourth Amendment, has been strictly used for like towing cars out of the highway, stuff like that. So, very, very, very slippery slope. Now, I'm going to do a video that's actually designed to reach our brothers and sisters on the left side of the aisle when it comes to guns. And I know they're scary, and we'll get into all of that. But essentially, we need to do all of that. We need to focus on this and see what's going on and realize that this isn't about public safety. There was no imminent danger. There was no threat. There was no nothing. This is a serious case, and it's something that we need to pay close attention to, because it isn't anyone who thinks the government is going to just march down the street and strip all our rights away. That's not how it works. They do it incrementally, step by step. This is a perfect example. It's one little thing. Look at the so-called assault rifle bans they're trying to pass. Look at all of this stuff. It is incredible. Incredible the amount that the government is allowed to get away with, while the average citizen is I won't say unconcerned, but unaffected directly. And I think that's where it comes down to is we have a society that is so in love with comfort. Um, Imagine, let me just paint you a picture. Imagine even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, before the advent of DoorDash and Grubhub and what's the one where they bring you your groceries? Uh, I forget the name of it right now, but all these apps, right? And curbside pickup and all of this. Imagine the lockdown, the 15 days to slow the curve, right? To slow the spread, 15 days. Imagine that 5 to 10 years ago, where there wasn't the ability to just stay home and have everything brought to you by Amazon, to have your McDonald's brought to you, to have all of these things just dropped off at your door. Imagine the outcry then. But because it is possible now to not leave your house. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Instacart and Shipped is the other one. Thank you, my dear. Imagine the outcry if this had happened during, but previous to the surge of technology. But because people are comfortable, because people still kept their power and water and all the creature comforts, people didn't say, what? No, we're not doing this. It was, okay, well, it's not that bad. I can still get the stuff that I want. I can still get my, my big bag of M&Ms or my Oreo cookies or, whatever the stuff that people order on Amazon. I try to order as little as possible on Amazon. I'm not going to, I've ordered from them. Absolutely. It's really frustrating that you can't go to a small business and get everything you need because of Walmart and Amazon and stuff like that has quite successfully driven them out of business in many, many cases. So when you try to go to the places and get what you need, most of it's not there. We spent most of yesterday, the day before, looking around for certain items that the wife and I wanted at small businesses, and they're just not there. It's the things that we want are not there. That was like my experience with trying to find a screwdriver set made in America at Ace Hardware. It's just not there. Excuse me, Lowe's. Yeah, I was at Lowe's. Impossible. It was not there. I looked through every package they had, every single one made in China. And people wonder why we are losing the trade war with China, because it's not offered. Yeah, and I agree with you 100%, Dave. Dave says mask mandate showed exactly how easily we are manipulated. And I agree wholeheartedly. We still, look, the governor, oh my goodness. The governor said, okay, 15 days to slow the curve, right? To slow the spread, whatever. A year later, over a year later, the governor says, okay, April 6th, we're going to end this. It's no longer mandatory for the state. Now, the towns can still do what they want. And for all the people out there that prefer to wear a mask, you have the right to wear whatever you want. You want to wear a mask, you wear a mask. But it's no longer going to be mandatory at the state level. People are losing their minds talking about, oh my God, it's dangerous. We're going to have a super spreader and everybody's going to die. Okay, if that's the case, and I've talked about this before, if that's the case, then why does Florida, where there's no mask mandate, have the same, if not much better, ROI, rate of infection than California, where it's absolutely required? You can't even leave your house there without a mask. There are people arrested for walking to their mailbox to get their mail with no mask on. Nobody around. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It's like these people that, anyway, drive around in their car. It's one thing if you don't want to touch your mask, right? I get that. But the people that you see them adjusting their masks, but they're alone in their car with their mask on, what are you doing? What are you afraid of? Yeah. Liz calls it. It also shows the power of a message of fear. People are now convinced that without masks, we are all going to die. And then I missed Mr. Bilberry's thing here. There you go. Absolutely, man. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'd love to get together with you, coordinate some freedom vision, as it were. We are getting targeted singly, one at a time, and getting kicked off of here and kicked off of there and shadow banned and demonetized and all the stuff. Any kind of conservative, freedom-minded channel has to have some degree of network to have any chance of surviving. It's just nuts. So I'm going to wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you stopping in once again, because I can't say enough about Billy, the big-eyed bunny here. I think they're going to be making more. If you want to like really just astound your family for Easter, this is the thing to get. 6 pounds this thing weighs. Just the bunny, not the wrapping. Just the bunny is 6 pounds of amazing chocolate. Evolution, Artisan Confections, look them up. Again, I don't get anything for it, but I think it'd be cool to tell them Dion sent you. I'll talk to you all soon. If you have any recommendations, ideas about crafting a new intro / outro, because I'd like to have an outro as well, so that people kind of definitively know when the show's over. Yeah, I have my little message that I give at the end, but it would be nice to have a short outro just to kind of end on. If you have any ideas, let me know. I always love to hear from you. Don't be afraid to email me or send me a message. Email is talk@dionbergeron.com. You can see the name right there. Just take the space out, .com. Talk@dionbergeron.com. And you can find me on Twitter @Dion's Daily Dose, on YouTube, Dion for Indiana, and Facebook is Dion's Daily Dose, Dion for Indiana, and Dion for Congress. Let's see here. Christopher says, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit, oh yeah, I forgot about this, has ruled today that American citizens do not have the right to carry, either openly or concealed, in public. The court issued the ruling in the case of George Young Jr. v. Hawaii, a lawsuit challenging a Hawaii firearm licensing law, which states residents seeking license to openly carry a firearm in public must demonstrate, quote, the urgency or the need to carry a firearm, must be of good moral character, and must be engaged in the protection of life. It only does so much, just FYI, on this program. It only shows so much of the post. But how mind-boggling is it that the U.S. Court of Appeals for Ninth Circuit ruled that American citizens do not have the right to carry? Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen of the court. The Constitution says I do. Keep and bear arms. Not just keep, bear. It's part of it. Shall not be infringed. I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. God bless Indiana. And God bless the United States of America. She's hurt, but we can fix her. I have faith in you, and I have faith in us. Thank you. See you soon.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers Sean Holgram and Michael Beatty. Copyright 2021. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.